Hey everybody, back again. I appreciate you all coming today. So yeah, we're doing something. It's been awaiting for a while. We did the first album, full album review with Gentle Giant, Acquiring the Taste, and now, as was planned, we did a poll for a full album, Joni Mitchell album, and what came out of that was basically a three-way tie between For the Roses, Court and Spark, and Hejira. But I think at the end, what came out was that had the most sort of interest, the most sort of passion to, and one that I would say that is a little bit deserving of a little bit more attention in her albums is For the Roses. And that's one also for me that has a very special place. So this is one that I have heard. All Joni Mitchell albums, most of them I have heard. There's a segment of albums after Hissing of the Summer Lawns, which I've heard a little bit less, and some that I may have not heard quite a bit. So there's definitely some material of hers. But anyway, yeah, this one, we're going to go on and do a few more full albums. We're going to do Gil Scott-Heron. And generally, I want to do ones that I have not heard before. But there are going to be some of the material on this channel are going to be some that I'm also putting out to the audience. Full albums that are a little less known, that are looking to be rediscovered, and moreover of that. So yeah, this channel is going to evolve a little bit here and there. So I'm definitely going to be doing full albums, audience, do polls. I'm going to be doing great requests. So at least once a month, I'm going to be doing upcoming requests of you guys, and that I take a quick listen to here and there, and then I find that are the most bombastic, most kind of hit me over the top as far as great material that I've never heard before, and put that all into a sort of monthly segment of some great requests, audience requests, and just increase all of our, better inspirations from what we can gather, It takes a long time to hear music and hear what's out there, so it's great when we can share that. So without further ado, but this is going to be Joni Mitchell, For the Roses. Let's go on to the next track. Number 3 track is Barangrill. Here we go.
Three waitresses all wearing black diamond earrings, talking about zombies and Singapore slings. Trouble in their faces, not one anxious voice, none of the crazy you get from too much choice. The thumb and the satchel or the rented Rolls Royce, and you think she knows something by the second refill. You think she's enlightened as she totals your bill. You say, show me the way to Barangrill. Well, some say it's in service, they say humble makes pure. You're hoping it's near folly, 'cause you're headed that way for sure. And you just have to laugh, 'cause it's all so crazy. All her mind's on her boyfriend and eggs over easy. It's just a trick on you, her mirror's in your will. So you ask the truck driver on the way to the till, but he's just a slave to bar and grill. The guy at the gas pumps, he's got a lot of soul. He sings Merry Christmas for you just like Nat King Cole. And he makes up his own tune right on the spot about white walls and windshields and this job he's got. And you wanna get moving and you wanna stay still, but lost in the moment some longing gets filled, and you even forget to ask, hey, where's Barangrill?
Yeah, that one's really cool. So it's definitely a little bit lighter fare than her previous two so far. But yeah, from what this one's got basically the scene of a bar and grill, as you can tell, but sort of the people that work there. What's the mentality of somebody that works there that keeps them, gives them insights and gives them strength. So as Joni said about this particular song, she said, I suppose I was more of a seeker, more on the path than I am now, mainly because I was more miserable at that time. So I wrote it as a kind of spoof on the Trinity centered around three waitresses, and I had 2 verses of it written. I wasn't sure exactly where it was going to take me. And one night I pulled into a gas station, and it was really early in the morning. There was nobody there lined up or anything. There was just one guy on duty there, and he said to me, "What are you doing out this hour of night?" And I said, "Well, I just came from a recording session." And he says, "Oh, are you a singer?" I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, sing me something then." So, I mean, it's like on the spot like that. I couldn't think of anything to sing, So I said, it's very late at night, I've blown my pipes. He said, "Okay, I'll sing you something then." So he stepped back from the car and he burst into song, and he started going through his whole routine. I kept thinking to myself, I wish he would hurry up and put gas in my car. And then halfway through it, I said to myself, no, wait a minute, this is a beautiful moment and you're rushing right through it, like you're hasty to go home to what? To sleep? Is sleep more important than this beautiful moment? So when I got home, I felt like I had somehow rather been enlightened. So as she said, the guys at the gas pumps, he's got a lot of soul. He sings Merry Christmas for you, just like Nat King Cole. And he makes up his own tune right on the spot about white walls and windshields about the job he's got. And you want to keep moving and you want to stay still, but lost in the moment, some longing gets filled. And you even forget to ask, hey, where's Barangrill? So yeah, it's a much obviously lighter song, and kind of about basically where to find inspiration, where to find moments in life, and basically to notice them when they're around you, and it's not just the carrot, following the carrot, or following the rabbit of the racehorse, and that's all you see. You don't see anything else. The goal, same with stocks and bonds, heroin, Jesus, sort of following this one thing. So it seems like, yeah, she's following a lot of sort of what people find, trying to figure out, what she finds important in life, what are the priorities, what should she be following, or on the outside? Should she be following something on the outside? I mean, that's like a common, where is it? Is it inside or is it outside? According to Mitchell, her time in British Columbia was a very solitary period. It was a melancholy exile. There was a sense of failure to it. That sounds like a harsh self-judgment, but she'd set her own high bar, and she agonized about whether or not her audiences would love her as deeply if they knew what she was really like. In other words, not some supernatural earth woman, but was testing their commitment by telling them in a song. And even as Mitchell retreated, she wondered how she would get back into the saddle. For the Roses, I should say, refers to a horse race in the Kentucky Derby. Introducing the song in concert in 1972, she said that comes from the expression to run for the horses, run for the roses, what that's all about. You take this horse and he comes charging into the finish line and they throw a wreath of flowers around his neck, and then one day they take him out and shoot him. How she might return to LA and show business after hiding out for a year was less obvious. So yeah, kind of like I was just alluding to, and maybe I was getting it from her sort of imagery and her perspective. But yeah, basically you're just going for this one thing and not seeing down the road. The horse isn't enjoying every footstep and enjoying the the faces of the crowd, or the meaning of the run, or the thing in itself, getting any kind of anything from that. You just focus on this one thing. So she's doing it for the roses. Yeah, pretty poignant. Pretty poignant. Okay, let's keep going. This is just profound through and through. And we're just getting deep into it. She's got really that's why this album for me is just so, it just has so much meaning. I don't know. Everything's going to sound kind of simplified to it, but yeah, you have to enjoy the, find the meaning in things. So Here we go. Number 4, lesson in survival.
Lesson in survival, spinning out on turns that gets you tough. Guru books, the Bible, only a reminder that you're just not good enough. You need to believe in something once I could in our love. Black road, double yellow line, friends and kin, campers in the kitchen. That's fine sometimes, but I know my needs, my sweet tumbleweed. I need more quiet times by a river flowing, you and me, deep kisses and the sun going down. Maybe it's paranoia, maybe it's sensitivity. Your friends protect you, scrutinize me. I get so damn timid, not at all the spirit that's inside of me. Oh baby, I can't seem to make it with you socially. There's this reef around me. I'm looking way out at the ocean. Love to see that green water in motion. I'm gonna get a boat and we can row it if you ever get the notion to be needed by me. Fresh salmon frying in the tide rolling in. Went to see a friend tonight, was very late when I walked in. My talking as it rambled revealed suspicious reasoning. The visit seemed to darken him. I came in as bright as a neon light and I burned out right there before him. I told him these things I'm telling you now. Watch them buckle up in his brow. When you dig down deep, you lose good sleep, and it makes you heavy company. I will always love you. Hands are like magnet and iron, the souls.
That one obviously very much seems about one of our exes, James Taylor perhaps, dealing with sort of this alienation when you're with somebody who you feel a connection with, but also feel outside of the relationship at the same time in degrees, and sometimes whether it's around other people or their bonds and their ties with the people, and you just feel like you can't connect. And feeling so insecure apparently. So, lesson in survival. But as the beginning was, it really fell into her. She seems to have this ongoing motif, of things to follow, things that are supposed to give you belief, give you solace, give you a place to be, a place to live, a place to breathe, spinning it on turns that get you tough. Guru books like the Bible, only a reminder that you're just not good enough. You need to believe in something once I could in our love. And then the second verse where she just really goes into all of the problems that she was feeling, the paranoia, the sensitivity, the scrutinization, being timid, not being able to deal with him socially. Third verse sort of her outpouring of this sentiment and this emotion to somebody else, a friend, and feeling and being able to pass it on to somebody else basically, and coming in bright and leaving this darkness, and showing it to somebody else. lesson is to learn and know when something is not good for you, that it's not everlasting. It's not going to give you strength, and you lose good sleep. So again, that was just Joni and piano. Just a beautiful song. If you read along with the lyrics, it really is. Some of her songs are more sort of heart on her sleeve, and you can kind of see and you can relate to it. Most people have lived through all these same issues and emotions, and the mixture of anger and fear and anger and fear and depression and insecurities and all that stuff. And everybody has to learn how to place them, where to put them, and where to put yourself in that, and how to keep yourself and come out of it. Come out of it stronger, or if not stronger, come out of it and be able to survive the future. She puts it out there in a very profound way, and she doesn't hide it and she doesn't mask it. Again, just her and piano on that one. So just to keep going with a little bit of her inspiration for this. So as she had said, Beethoven helped, it seems. One of the many books Mitchell read during her maladjusted period, alongside Jung, Freud, and numerous theology and self-help titles, was Beethoven, his Spiritual Development, written in 1927. J.W.N. Sullivan's Beethoven, written in 1927. It detailed his struggles, self-doubts, and worries about how his work was being received, his deafness, and the significance of these troubles on a more profound level. His story struck a deep chord with Mitchell so much that she wrote Judgment of the Moon and Stars, Ludwig's tune, the album's lustrous, cathartic closer, which extols the importance of speaking truth to oneself. So I will go into that afterward. As she said, in her new cabin, I jumped off a rock and into this dark emerald green water with yellow kelp in it and purple starfish at the bottom. It was very beautiful, and as I broke up to the surface of the water, which was black and reflective, I started laughing. Joy had suddenly come over me, and I remember that as a turning point, first feeling like a loony because I was out there laughing all by myself in this beautiful environment. And then right on top of that was the realization that whatever my social burdens were, my inner happiness was still intact. Communing with nature was certainly evident in the album package design. Gone was the intense, moody close-up that served as the cover of Blue, and Mitchell herself often painted for her covers. Instead, Mitchell was reborn botanically. On the cover, she is seated along a mountainside, surrounded by rocks and flora. Inside was a surprising and at the time shocking shot of Mitchell naked from the back and posing before the ocean. Much like the songs inside, it is the artist stripped bare. And yeah, right now we're going to continue on with the Canterbury scene. A few more bands on that. Yeah, Keith Tippett, Just Us, yeah, Elton Dean, also Centipede. Yeah, I don't know. Moving Gelatin Plates we're going to jump into. Matching Mole, Quiet Sun, Con, Hatfield, Isotope. Yeah, we're going into the mid-70s. Into the early 70s, into the mid-70s of the Canterbury scene. So yeah, hope you enjoy that. And again, take care, guys. Thanks for enjoying this. Hope you enjoyed it. And let me know any of your feelings when this album set for you, what it means to you, and where you'd like to go next with a full album. Any recommendations? We'll filter it down into the next album listen. And always single recommendations monthly. I'm going to put those out. That's coming up soon too. All the best stuff that you guys have given me, and I appreciate it so much. It's really kind of turning over a new leaf into sort of exploring music, and it's great to hear some choices of you guys and just feel like it's a revolution in that sense, so a revelation, I should say. But again, take care, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Have a great day. Bye-bye.